data and weapons test data to help create a safe and realistic environment for the warfighter to achieve a maximum state of combat readiness. The experts of the Utah Test and Training Range support your needs from initial planning through test and evaluation execution. Their extensive knowledge in both testing and training will ensure success at a minimum cost while preparing the warfighter to deploy at a moment's notice to win any conflict with decisive air and space power.
It is a battle against you and the elements, not just the enemy. Been at it for 60 days, everything from pre-environmental training to just getting thrown out into the field for 2 weeks at a time. You learn a lot about yourself.
The biggest thing that's come out of this is teamwork. Team level, squad level, and team level. The Marines have definitely gotten a much tighter bond. RDK specifically exposed the Marines to joint environment for the first time. Whether it's how to enter a trench, set up a fork on fire, or employ HE assets. They were exposed to different styles.
It almost turned into a challenge of let's show them what we can do. And that kind of built that warrior spirit, that competitiveness inside them, and really pushed them to do that. It's been a phenomenal thing to sit back as a company first on and see just how much they have grown. It's not an individual who here, an individual who here. It's a team, it's a unit, it's an element growing together. Anything that you could think of in a mountainous terrain with cold weather, they've overcome.
Welcome to Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, home of the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force, the Marine Special Operations Command, the School of Infantry East, the Marine Corps Service Support Schools, and the Coast Guard Special Missions Training Center. From its modest beginnings in 1941, Camp Lejeune has grown to become the largest amphibious training base in the nation, featuring more than 150,000 acres with 11 miles of beachfront and 78 miles of inland waterfront. Our purpose is simple: support the training requirements of our tenant commands to ensure that our Marines, sailors, and Coast Guardsmen receive the most complete training possible in order to fight and win our nation's battles. Along with our aviation components stationed at nearby Marine Corps Air Stations New River and Cherry Point, Marine Air Ground Task Forces are able to meet training needs ranging from the individual infantrymen up to and including the Marine Air Ground Task Force Command Element, the MAGTF. On any given day, Marines are honing their marksmanship skills at the rifle range, practicing small unit tactics, techniques, and procedures at our many fire and maneuver ranges, or conducting supporting arms fires from artillery, mortars, aviation, and naval gunfire. Additionally, these Marines are able to refine platoon and company level battle skills, rehearse raid scenarios, conduct reconnaissance, establish forward operating bases, conduct tactical resupply, conduct refueling operations, execute ship-to-shore movements and other amphibious operations, practice heliborne operations, conduct operations in urban terrain, or even rehearse skills in simulators prior to executing them in the field. While providing realistic training opportunities is the most important purpose of Camp Lejeune, doing so in a way that does not jeopardize our natural resources, our coastal ecosystems, or the habitat of threatened or endangered species is always a key consideration. The balance between training requirements and resource management is continually reviewed and adjusted, ensuring the long-term viability of both. The Operations and Training Department of Camp Lejeune is the office responsible for training support, and that responsibility is exercised through the Range and Training Area Management Division, or RTAM. As requirements are generated for ranges and training areas, whether they be in support of new weapon systems or changing tactics and techniques, RTAM is involved in every phase from the range planning development process, the handoff to range control, to the sustainment of the finished range or training area. In addition to its responsibilities for range development, range maintenance, training support, RTAM oversees the efforts of its range control branch and the daily management of 98 live fire ranges, 94 training areas, 27 gun positions, 47 tactical landing zones, 6 military operations in urban terrain areas, 2 airfield seizure facilities, 10 engineer training areas, 12 simulator facilities, 4 special use airspace areas, and much more. With 3 primary impact areas capable of supporting munitions up to and including 155mm rounds, naval gunfire, and inert aviation ordnance, including precision-guided munitions, training rarely ceases aboard Camp Lejeune. Close proximity to Fort Bragg also results in training by Army units at Camp Lejeune on a regular basis, as well as Army units from around the nation who train anti-aircraft missile units on Lejeune's shoreline. Camp Lejeune is vital to the nation's security. It isn't paradise, but when is the last time Marines fought in paradise? With its swamps and wetlands, to its thick pine forests and its precautions, Camp Lejeune will challenge movement and maneuver, forcing small unit leaders to constantly adapt and overcome. Our hot, humid summers and damp, cold winters inspire a confidence in our Marines and sailors that they can operate effectively, anywhere, anytime. Producing well-trained, highly confident, and motivated Marines and sailors. That's what we do. It's why we exist. For information on the use or scheduling of ranges or training areas at Camp Lejeune, please contact any of the individuals listed here.
Utah Test and Training Range enhances combat readiness, superiority, and sustainability by providing warfighters with realistic test and training environments. Located in Utah's West Desert, approximately 70 miles west of Salt Lake City, the UTTR provides the largest overland safety footprint available in the Department of Defense for aircrew training and weapons testing. The range is comprised of 2,675 square miles of ground space and over 19,000 square miles of airspace. This offers a diversity of climate, topography, and restricted airspace unmatched anywhere in the continental United States. The UTTR was created in 1979 to provide test and training for air-to-air, air-to-ground, inert, and live weapons and gunnery by Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marine units, as well as a host of foreign countries. With 7 different target complexes providing 398 air-to-ground targets, all fully instrumented with cameras, tracking radars, and other data-gathering technology, the range supports 10,000 training sorties and 625 test sorties annually. By providing responsive open-air training and test services that support day-to-day training and large force training exercises, it enables superiority for America's warfighters and their weapon systems. The UTTR consists of 9 flights and 1 detachment at 3 geographically separated sites. The workforce is composed of approximately 300 military, civilian, and contractor personnel, providing operations, maintenance, and integration of one of the ACC's most sophisticated test and training range complexes. Det 1 provides scientific photographic documentation, range maintenance, target development, and construction in support of static and dynamic target training and weapons testing, control and weapons control services to all tactical aircraft in the range. These services include air-to-air, air-to-surface, aerial refueling, and unmanned aerial systems. Clover Maintenance Flight is responsible for air traffic control equipment situated at 8 remote sites throughout the range and surrounding supporting areas. The UTTR Data Flight manages the Mission Control Center, or MCC, where all test missions are controlled and observed. Located at Hill Air Force Base, this hub receives all telemetry, video, and voice communication systems through a combination of microwave, fiber, and radio links from all over the range. The Data Flight is then responsible for delivering these products to all UTTR test and evaluation users. The large contractor support force operates and sustains the systems that provide training.